Okay, Ladarian, incident last night. What happened?
Last night on May 27th, we had Longview Police Department received multiple calls about individual walking around with a rifle who was also firing the rifle. With that, of course, called for a response from us. As officers are headed to the location, because we were actually called to an apartment complex, while we were on the way, officers spotted the individual matching description with a long rifle right in front of Fire Station 6 on McCann Road. As a consequence, when the officers saw the suspect, they turned around and tried to make contact. While trying to make contact, the suspect fired their weapon multiple times at officers. And in response to him firing, the officers fired back, striking the individual, or rather shot him. After he was down, removing the rifle, they were able to give him medical attention immediately, which led to him not being severely injured, I guess you can say. And after that, Longview Fire Department came, transported him to a local hospital. He's now been booked into the Gregg County Jail. His name is Jory Sadler, 43-year-old male from right here in Longview. The officers are fine. He is, of course, had none life-threatening injuries, hence the reason why he's in jail now. That's pretty much the gist of it.
Does he have a criminal record prior to the incident?
From my understanding, there were a couple of incidents in which other agencies had to encounter with him, but nothing severe.
And what are the charges he's facing?
Aggravated assault against a public servant, which is a first-degree felony.
Did the weapon come back as stolen?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay, hadn't heard that. Now, was anybody else involved with this?
So, of course, the initial officer who tried to make contact, the secondary officer is the one that fired his weapon, and the one that was able to stop the suspect from shooting at the other officer.
How many officers responded? Like, how many were shooting at?
We only have one officer who shot, but you had another officer who was shot at, if that makes sense.
Yes.
So I guess you could say initially two main officers, and then of course you have several other officers who show up to assist.
Do you know how many shots were fired?
I do not.
I guess this will come, I don't know if you would have this information right now, but do you know like a motive as to why he was just walking around?
I do not. Not a clue. Great question though, but not a clue.
Okay. Is there a bond? Does he have a bond set or anything?
There is. He was arraigned this morning. I do not know what it is, so I don't want to give you an inaccurate number. But yes, he was arraigned this morning.
And what do you know the exact time this happened to when it?
It's a little bit before midnight when all this took place. I believe we received a call literally like 10, 15 minutes before midnight, so somewhere around there. Hence the reason why I was publicized that this occurred yesterday, because it did, because it was before midnight.
Okay. And you said oh, sorry.
No, we said fine. Did he live at that apartment complex? It's right there by an apartment complex.
He lived in one of those apartment complexes. I just can't remember which one it was, but it was one of the two.
Yeah, so he resided in the
Yes.
There's no threat to the public or anything like that?
No. This situation, okay, so the initial incident, yes, it's over, but the investigation is still ongoing, if that makes sense. So there's no threat to the general public. No one is in any danger. Like I said, the individual has been booked inside the Gregg County Jail, so that piece of it, we don't have to worry about. As you know, or as some people may not know, the Longview Police Department, it is our custom to, when we have an officer involved shooting, that the Texas Rangers take over the investigation, so they're the ones that's running the show on that end right now.
Do you know what he was shooting at? You said he was firing shots before officers arrived.
I'll say that our vehicle took several rounds as the officer was getting out, so that's how that part went.
So he opened fire even before
Oh, absolutely.
they approached him?
Absolutely.
Wow, okay.
And prior to you all arriving, like when the calls came in, was the people who were calling, were they saying he was firing at, like, in the sky, like at houses, or?
I don't know the specifics of where he was firing. I don't believe he was firing at any one or any other property. So the multiple calls that we received was giving a description of him and also telling us that he was walking around with a rifle and firing it. Of course, I would believe that at that time of night, you fire a weapon, you're going to get the attention of people, and that's what even initiated us getting called.
Did he have any other weapons on him?
Not to my knowledge.
Was there any drugs or anything found? Or?
Drugs found, not to my knowledge, no. And I mean, I would add, people are going to speculate why things went the way they did. I am eternally grateful that this department provides the level of training that we do. That is the reason why we are able to have this story versus a different story. I thank God that our officers are fine. I even thank God that the individual who was involved did not receive any life-threatening injuries. It really changes the lives of everyone involved when these type of incidents happen. But thankfully, the Longview Police Department provides a lot of training to where we run these type of situations all the time. With the alert training that we've gone through over the past decade, that has helped tremendously. So I want the general public here at Longview to know you have a well-trained department, which is the reason why we've been able to handle these situations as to the best of our abilities here in the recent past.
Well, yeah, you have a virtual training room upstairs.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that has helped significantly, providing an adequate amount of space for us to have continuous training and ongoing training. The leadership of our department, I'm not just talking about the chief, I'm talking about the lieutenants and the deputy chiefs and everyone in between. They are very big on making sure that we are a well-trained department. That's how we're able to provide that professional policing for the general public here at Longview.
Can you talk about where the suspect was shot? I mean, was he shot?
That part I do not know.
Okay.
Yeah, I do not know.